Let's hear it for you.
Yeah.
For a second there, you're like, all right, 3 female comics, and then you get me. My name is Leslie. Hi, it's good to be here in the Yoo-Hoo room, which I think is a 1950s nickname for men's private parts. I'm just speculating. I can't really say anything. I once had an ex who dubbed mine a term from ThunderCats. So I getting that nerd thing out there. Speaking of sci-fi news, Dune 2 turning out to be the biggest movie of the year so far. Anyone see that movie? Yeah, not yet. I loved it. I thought it was great. My only problem with it, though, was Christoper Walken. I went in there thinking I was going to hear him go, Dune. So many sandworms. Muad'Dib. He decided to do a non-Christopher Walken impression. I'm highly disappointed. I'm a little confused by the name of the show, Nerdy Virgin, for a couple reasons. First off, the nerdy part. I got that. I do have the nerd cred. Lego collector, memorabilia, years wasted. If I took the nerd test, I'm 100% that bitch, right? But the thing about nerds is, I think the biggest nerds now are the sports geeks. You know what I'm talking about? The guys, when they're talking about stats and individuals, they sound like Warhammer players talking about Space Marines, you know? There's only a few got that. I'm here for you. And then the other thing is the fantasy football guys. They sound like the Dungeons and Dragons players. They're like, oh, if I just get this running back to get through the line, I can save my season. All right, calm down there, Frodo. And then the virgin part, that one confuses me too, because I'll be honest with you, some kinky stuff was introduced to me from my nerddom. Like I was once invited to an orgy at a Renaissance fair. I thought about it, but then they asked me in that Renaissance tone, and I was like, no, I'm not going to be doing that. But I'm happy to be here because I get to talk about my life a little bit and say references that most audiences don't get, all right? Like, for example, I was in the Marine Corps. I went through boot camp and everything, and I was physically changed when I came out. And most people, when they hear that, they're like, oh, Captain America. I'm like, okay, they're casual Marvel fan, that's fine. But actually, when I came out of boot camp, I looked like a 1980s sci-fi villain. I did, you know, like Rutger Hauer in Blade Runner? Yeah, I looked like that. Women were like attracted but fearful. Gay men would kill for me. Straight men would go, would. Just saying. Another part about me, this is where my street cred comes from. I grew up in the barrios in Fresno, California. Yeah, I know I don't look it. I know I look like Drake is my favorite rapper. But that's where I'm from, and I've had lots of connections. Immigrant neighborhood, Latin community, work with Embrace, and did a lot of good work. One Mexican-American political leader called me a bridge between both worlds. And I'm like, great, I'm the gringo avatar, bringing everyone together. That's why when they ask me about the eclipse, they're like, what are you doing for the eclipse? I'm like, I'm invading the Fire Nation. I don't know about you. What else is there? I always explain people's home life by what Star Trek they like. Like if you have a traditional home life, you're more of an old school, next gen fan. If you had everything handed to you, you love the Star Trek movies. If you had to work on your home life or don't venture far from it, you're a Deep Space Nine fan. You're like, no, there's all this stuff out there. Forget it, I'm here. But for me, I didn't want anything to do with my home life. I want to get the hell away from it. I'm a Voyager fan, Star Trek Voyager. That's right. My mom would be like, you haven't seen your sister in years. She's only 10 minutes away. I'm like, Mom, that's Borg space between us. There's no way I'm doing that one. Another thing about me, I suffer from clinical depression. I know, fun times. But the thing is, thank you, sympathy applause. I got that, I'll take it. The thing is, nerd media is a way to indicate what level of depression I'm at. Like, for example, if I'm reading Naruto, he's doing okay. He's working on it. If I'm buying Legos, they're like, okay, we're a little bit worried. Oh, FYI, May 4th is coming up. I'm buying a bunch, so don't call anybody. I'm good, all right? But if I am knee deep in Fallout 4 and I want to cruise the wasteland and live there instead, you better call somebody. That's all I'm saying. That's the thing. So, oh well. Like you're like these references are too much. They're too far this way. You better go to a nerd convention. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, speaking of nerd stuff, they just announced that there's a Dragon Ball Z theme park going to be open. Yeah, one person. I'm here for you. Which is great. I think that's a foolproof plan because if there's a long line, people just say you're just powering up. Just see a bunch of 30-year-old men going, ah! I just want to end it with this. Fun fact about me, I almost went pro